I just want to say happy anniversary to everybody at ODE and all of the people connected with ODE. ODE has been a partner of ours for a long time, and we're delighted to be able to share this special occasion with them and talk a little bit about some of the things that we've done in partnership with ODE. And I hope you have a great day. Program that we ran that really showcases the kind of work that ODE does. And this particular client was a global financial services company. You'd all recognize the name, although I'm not going to say it. And the finance department and the global risk organization used this approach that I'm going to talk to you about because they were doing a lot of moving of their business from hub locations in the United States and London and Hong Kong, for example, to other global locations. And they were very concerned about being able to make this change in terms of moving their work into other locations to make the relationships between the people who had to do the work work smoothly. And the first thing they asked themselves before they actually even hired anybody was, what do we really want these other locations that are now taking this work? What do we want them to be? Do we want them to be a service provider, or do we actually want them to be a business partner? A service provider was somebody who did what you asked. You asked for this and they gave you that critical piece of the puzzle and they responded to what you asked for. But when you have someone as a business partner, they're really part of the decision making. They help identify problems and look for potential solutions and so on and so forth. One of the things that they did was they defined the difference between what a service provider did and what a business partner ought to do. And so a service provider, in their thinking, was really someone who delivered what you asked for, gives you what it is that you need in terms of that critical piece of the puzzle. But a business partner is somebody who sits at the table, who really helps make decisions, who can identify solutions and come up with solutions to those problems. And they were very clear that this business partner model was what they had to make happen in their organization in order for their organization to be successful. So we were asked to put together, if that's the case, what in fact are the drivers of business partnership? What are the behaviors? What are the kinds of activities that either are missing in this organization or that need to be reinforced in order for this business partnership to work? And so we identified these 5 dimensions or drivers of business partnership and then helped define what those things mean. And our job was to collect data from all over the organization worldwide to help people understand what these 5 drivers of business partnership related to. A set of dashboards, again, from Mumbai, and in this case, London. This was about decision making and where the decision making falls. And, is it, in case of Mumbai, was more a multi-level consultation, and in London it was autonomy. So again, to understand that these differences are real and that they impact how the people who were business partners were interacting with each other really was critical to creating these high performance teams. So what? I mean, always the question is, so what? And the business impact of the work that was done here had an impact on the corporation as well as on the people who attended the program. We designed cases that were actual, that people throughout the world in this organization recognized, yes, this is what happens in my organization. This is the kind of misunderstandings we have or the assumptions that we make, that in fact, maybe we need to take a good look at. So we created cases aligned with the Hofstede dimensions and had them interact with each other and identify, well, what's happening from point A, from one side of the organization to another side of the organization. What does it look like is happening? Where are the miscues? Where are the assumptions that are being made? But we always ended the case by saying, well, what has to happen in order to prevent this problem from continuing or happening again? So we were driving them to identify what kinds of behaviors they might need to do differently in order to really make a difference. And we collected that data on corporate issues and the recommendations that the people in the organization would make and fed them to organizational design. So that's a change in the corporation. And there were quite a few of these kinds of changes that came out of the program. for the corporation. Well, the attendees also had a change in terms of the way they interacted with each other. In every single class, there was a comment that was, it's really important to have better communication, clearer, more complete, all of the pieces of the communication, not just making an assumption that people understand, which means some people need to ask questions and other people need to be available to answer those questions and provide more information as is necessary, for example. Both sides needed to learn how to do things differently. ODE was a very strong partner with this particular project. We worked on collecting data for the cases. We worked on delivery of the program. We worked on the analysis of the business drivers. All of those things and the results in the dashboards, all those things were critical to the success for this client. And ODE was a very strong partner in this for us here. And very often, the drivers of this workplace behavior are things that are completely unappreciated in the workplace. And we found all over the world that people were exclaiming how important it was to really have a sense of understanding and appreciation for these local issues and differences. So again, I want to wish the folks at ODE a happy anniversary. I want to say I wish I could be with you, and I have appreciated the long relationship that we've had and the fact that this was a product, the Hofstede Culture in the Workplace Questionnaire, that your organization acquired from our organization, and I want to wish you the best of luck in moving it forward for the future. Thanks.